a list of criminal organizations, mostly based in Hong Kong. Now, these triad gangs originated in China, but after Mao took over, it was nearly impossible to continue their criminal enterprises, so they moved to Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan, and other areas. Now, the triad is actually a pretty old organization, which originated in the late 1700s as a secret society known as the Hung Society. Dang, I should be a member of the Hung Society, if you know what I mean. Anyways, the modern day triads maintain a lot of the same rituals and customs of the Hung Society. Now, the biggest triad group currently is Sun Yee On. They were originally founded in 1919 in Chaozhou, China. They mainly dabble in counterfeiting, gambling, and human trafficking, but they also do narcotics, smuggling, prostitution, and extortion, all that good stuff. The group's founder was deported to Taiwan from mainland China in the 1950s, where he ran things from that point on. They also have a large presence in Hong Kong, where most triad groups are based out of. Now, not a lot is known about Sun Yee On because they're shrouded in secrecy, but they have members all over the world where there are large Chinese communities. It's estimated that they have anywhere between 25,000 to 100,000 members worldwide. D Company. D Company is an organized crime syndicate based in India. They specialize in gold smuggling, real estate, extortion, and drug trafficking. It's commonly believed that the D in D Company stands for D's Nuts, but that's simply untrue. The D stands for Dawood Ibrahim, who created D Company back in the 1970s. In 1993, D Company orchestrated multiple coordinated terrorist attacks in Bombay, which killed over 250 people, most of which were Hindu. This infuriated the Hindu members of D Company, and they split off and formed their own Hindu-based gang, led by Chota Rajan. And my man Chota was not taking any shit, alright? He had 7 of the guys who participated in the attacks whacked and started a gang war with D Company that lasted years and resulted in the deaths of over 100 gangsters. Currently, Dawood Ibrahim is in hiding, and it's not exactly known where he is. However, Indian intelligence, US intelligence, and former associates are all pretty sure that he's in Pakistan. But the Pakistani government denies this, and hey, I trust them. It's not like they have a history of harboring terrorists and lying about it. Anyways, it's believed that D Company now operates mostly out of Pakistan while still maintaining real estate and other enterprises in India as well as Dubai. The Irish Republican Army. So if you're unfamiliar, Great Britain controlled Ireland for a very long time, and they were not very nice. So when England was off fighting in World War I, a paramilitary group known as the Irish Republican Army started fighting a war for independence. This war lasted 2 years and concluded with the Anglo-Irish Treaty. This treaty gave Ireland a status similar to Canada, where they would be independent but still kind of be part of Great Britain. Also, Northern Ireland would remain part of the United Kingdom. And that's because most of the people in Northern Ireland are actually Protestant descendants of English colonizers. After the treaty was signed, a lot of members of the IRA were not happy, and this led to a civil war, which ended up with the pro-treaty side winning. Now, this treaty led to a lot of troubles. Actually, it led to a period called the Troubles, which lasted about 30 years. The Troubles began in the late 1960s as a civil rights movement with the aim of ending discrimination of Catholic/Gaelic people in Northern Ireland. The Unionists began clamping down on the protests and tried stopping them from happening, which historically is never a good thing. So the protests grew more and more violent until the UK had to send in the army. Now, the IRA that we talked about before, they never really went away. So the sentiment was always there. During the Troubles, multiple paramilitary groups waged a guerrilla war in Northern Ireland. Many of these groups claimed to be the new IRA. The 2 largest ones were the Provisional Irish Republican Army and the Irish National Liberation Army. These groups were labeled as terrorist organizations, and not for no reason. They participated in multiple bombings, mostly against civilians, and these terrorist attacks were only exasperated by an event called Bloody Sunday, where British soldiers shot 26 Irish protesters, killing 14 of them. The British soldiers got off with no repercussions, and the Troubles would continue to 1998, where the Good Friday Peace Agreement was finally signed. The Addams Family. No, not that Addams Family. The Addams Family, also known as the Clerkenwell Crime Syndicate, or the A-Team, is one of the most powerful criminal organizations in the United Kingdom. It was started in the 1980s by Irish brothers Terry, Tommy, and Patsy. They would be heavily involved with drug trafficking and extortion, as well as hijacking Brinks trucks. The gang is also thought to be behind multiple killings, including the Jigsaw murder, which was called that because the victim, Jeffrey Howe, had his body dismembered and scattered across multiple cities. After a long investigation by MI5, which is like the British version of the FBI, most of the key members of the gangs were imprisoned or under too much heat to carry out any sort of criminal enterprise, and the rest were dead. So we talked about one English gang,